If you're the general manager or facility manager or the maintenance manager at a manufacturing facility, you are constantly under pressure to reduce costs and increase productivity. You're the one responsible for the overall performance of your manufacturing facility. SimplySnap was designed to make it easy for you and your team to tackle some of the problems that you face day to day. Let's talk about lowering operating costs. Do you know what one of our partners told us recently was their #1 unmanaged expense in their plant? Energy costs. Facility managers spend a lot of time on productivity improvements with the goal of increasing the bottom line, but those efforts often ignore the simple changes that could be made to lower the energy use in the facility. Another drain on productivity is unplanned downtime. Unplanned downtime costs manufacturers thousands of dollars an hour every time there's an incident. I want to take a few minutes today to demonstrate how SimplySnap gives you the tools and information to reduce energy costs and improve equipment uptime. Our solution employs a holistic approach to optimizing the performance of manufacturing facilities that not only improves short-term profitability, but also long-term sustainability, things that the executives and management teams also want to improve. Let's talk about the equipment you have in your facility and what happens when things go wrong. As I said earlier, unplanned downtime is a very expensive event. And it's not just from the lost productivity of that event, but also the cascading events that occur, such as material backup, personnel issues, or overtime shifts that now have to be planned. Traditionally, the maintenance department will try to reduce downtime by implementing a preventative maintenance routine. This catches and prevents some of the issues, but often requires periodic monitoring, visual inspection, or using specialized solutions that are different for every piece of equipment. Others tackle this problem by purchasing large, predictive maintenance software systems. But many predictive maintenance solutions on the market today are expensive, cumbersome to install, and may not work with the existing, older, and fully depreciated equipment in your factory. If you're a medium-sized manufacturer with a lot of older equipment on your plant floor, catching these problems before they happen is important, but the solutions from the larger automation companies may not be affordable. Let's take a look at how SimplySnap can help you pinpoint problems with your older equipment before those problems cause an unplanned downtime event. Using the portal built into SimplySnap, I'm going to start by going to look at the equipment health for one of the facilities we are monitoring. On this screen, you can see that SimplySnap provides a map view of your entire facility, showing the status of your key pieces of equipment on the map. You'll notice that this piece of equipment isn't operating normally and is in a critical state. By clicking on that piece of equipment directly from the map, you'll get a quick view of what that equipment is, what state it is in, and any critical alarms that may exist. By clicking on View Equipment Profile, I can see the different components that make up this piece of equipment, as well as the state and health information. It looks like one of the motors is in a critical state, and the reading from the sensor indicated that it is likely having a motor vibration issue, which could be an early indicator of failure. It's probably a good idea to have someone go out and take a look at it. If I click on that motor sensor, I can see the specific readings that triggered the notification. One thing to note here is that this issue was obvious from the map view I showed earlier, but with SimplySnap, you can also configure the system to notify the maintenance team through a text or an email as soon as the issue was detected. The incident management system built into SimplySnap will give you the peace of mind to know that the proper personnel have been notified and an escalation path is present if the alarms aren't handled in a timely manner. If I go back to the map view, I can see other equipment at the plant. This is one of the many air compressors within this facility. Compressed air systems are one of the largest consumers of energy within a facility, but is it a source of significant energy waste? It really comes down to this question. How do I know where energy waste is occurring, and how does one get started on a project designed to reduce energy waste? How much is energy waste costing you in your plant? Most of the time, the answer to that question is a mystery. The only visibility you have is contained in your site's monthly power bill, and you're not really getting a lot of information from that. The only information that the power bill gives you is how much you consumed last month, how much it cost you, and any peak demand charges that you incurred. All of that is looking in the past. How are you supposed to know where energy waste is occurring this month so that you can be proactive and do something about it? SimplySnap Energy Insights was designed to help facility managers identify where energy is being wasted and how much it's costing them in their facility. Armed with this information, the facility management team is empowered to develop a corrective action plan that will lower energy-related operational costs across the facility. In order to find places where energy waste is occurring, we want to track the flow of energy through the facility. SimplySnap can monitor the mains coming into the plant, submeter the departments, and monitor the power consumption of individual pieces of equipment. Let's take a look and see how you can do that. From the portal, I'm going to click on Energy Consumption. The first thing you'll see is the roll-up of total energy consumed across the monitored areas and how much it has cost you over the past month. Plus, you'll notice some key carbon emission KPIs that are tracked as a part of many ESG goals. I'll come back to that shortly. You'll notice that as I scroll down, I can see various views of the top consumers of energy in this factory. You can see which departments are contributing the greatest amount of energy consumption. Plus, with SimplySnap, you have the ability to group similar types of equipment together and see their total contribution. In this example, we have baghouses, compressors, and other equipment types. If I click on compressors, I can see how that group of equipment has performed over the past month and how much it has cost the plant. I can also see which individual compressors are contributing the most to energy consumption. Notice that the energy data presented here can be viewed in either consumption, the number of gigawatt hours consumed, or by cost, the number of dollars per hour. With this information, you can now put a dollar amount on the energy consumption that is happening in your plant today, not just what you consumed last month from the monthly power bill, but real-time data on what's going on in your plant right now. You can also change the view of the data within Energy Insights to highlight common production or non-production scenarios. For example, we had a partner recently take a look at the weekend wasters in their factory. They were able to quantify how much it was costing them to leave various pieces of equipment on during these non-production hours. Armed with this information, they were able to change their behavior, resulting in an annual energy bill savings of over $80,000. Another driver of energy expense is peak demand. Peak demand charges will often make up a very significant portion of the plant's utility bill. We've seen examples where the peak demand charges alone make up over half the bill. Facilities can lower peak demand charges by spreading out energy usage over time or moving usage to lower cost periods. But what equipment is causing the charges, and when are the peak demand charges being incurred? Often that information is not readily available from the utility. How do you manage these charges when you don't know when exactly they occurred during the month or what equipment contributed to those charges? That's where SimplySnap Peak Demand Insights can help. From the portal, when I select Peak Demand Insights, you get a view of the data from the utility's power mains coming into the plant. By taking the power readings from the mains and incorporating the utility rate schedule, SimplySnap's energy cost algorithm can provide you visibility into when the peak demand charge occurred and what equipment contributed to that charge. Additionally, you'll be able to see other peaks that you may need to keep an eye on. The last thing you want to do is solve the problem with one peak demand, only to realize it was an anomaly and the recurring peak demand incidents still exist. With SimplySnap, you'll be able to see when your peak demand is occurring, see other peak times that may need to be addressed, and you'll have the information needed to know which equipment contributed to the charges. When it comes to energy waste and managing your energy costs, we've looked at ways to know when and where energy waste is occurring, and also what is contributing to your peak demand charges. This information can give you the insights needed to put an energy management program in place. But how do you track the success of that program over the long term? And if you're an executive with a charge to implement these energy reduction plans across all your facilities, how do you keep track of the status of the project at each location? SimplySnap makes that easy too. We give you the tools to track key energy-related KPIs that help you manage the projects at each facility and across your enterprise. Whether it is greenhouse gas emissions or energy intensity metrics, SimplySnap can track progress and give the management team a dashboard to see how a department, facility, division, or the entire enterprise is performing. Let's dive into a bit more detail. Once again, I'll start at the portal and select Facility KPIs. On this dashboard, you have a quick overview of how the facility is performing with respect to a few key metrics. You can see how the facility is tracking against KPIs such as energy cost, energy consumption, or even energy intensity. Additionally, SimplySnap gives you a view of Scope 2 greenhouse gas emissions, which is another key metric that many organizations track. If we drill into energy intensity, you can see how the facility is performing across predefined time periods and if the company is on track, behind, or ahead of their goals. You can even get more details down to the department level to see how each department is performing against their KPIs. This gives you an unprecedented level of information to view your energy performance metrics to ensure that your projects to eliminate energy waste are on track. But it doesn't just stop at the facility level. If you're a VP of sustainability or another executive in charge of lowering your company's energy footprint, it's important to see how all of your divisions are tracking to these energy KPIs. SimplySnap gives you that view across your entire enterprise. Here you can see the same KPIs that were present at the facility level, but now rolled up at the enterprise level. Additionally, you can drill down to see the details at each of your facilities. SimplySnap can help improve the profitability of the plant by identifying and reducing energy waste and reducing unplanned downtime by monitoring motors on critical equipment. Plus, SimplySnap can help you control some of the bigger energy consumers in your factory. Check out our other videos on our lighting control solution and our holistic HVAC management capability. With these solutions all in one industrial platform, SimplySnap can help you achieve both your profitability and your sustainability objectives.